Let's look at how writers take one specific moment that may only last seconds and yet make that writing a focus and zoom in, if you will. Zoom into all the details and you fill it with great descriptions, vivid verbs, and the most important part, sensory details, sometimes dialogue where people talk, to make sure the reader really gets to see the important part of the writing. We're going to annotate this text, mentor text, called Night. And what we're going to do is in one column, we're going to note any questions we have about the text, and we will highlight anything we notice that leads to questions in one color. And in the other column, it says what I notice about the text. And that's where we're going to put observations about the writing itself, word choice, interesting phrases, what you think the writer is getting at by using specific author's craft tools. Okay, so let's start with just reading and any questions that come to mind. I have already color coded a little bit so that we can see questions are going to be in blue. What I notice is going to be in green, and I'm going to try to highlight accordingly. Okay, so when I came to myself again, I tried to slacken the pace, but there was no way. A great tidal wave of men came rolling onward and would have crushed me like an ant. Okay, tried to slacken the pace. He was trying to slow down, but there was no way because he would have been crushed by a bunch of men, a tidal weight of men. So I'm going to highlight that blue. And my question is, where is he? Who are all these men who keep him moving? Sounds like he doesn't want to move. He tries to slow down, but he can't. I was simply walking in my sleep. I managed to close my eyes and to run like that while asleep. Now and then someone would push me violently from behind and I would wake up. Okay. So it sounds like he truly is almost legitimately walking in his sleep. So, and he doesn't want to. Why does he have to walk? He is so tired. What's going on here? People are pushing him violently. So something not good. The other would shout, "Run faster. If you don't want to go on, let other people pass." So everybody's running? So he's part. So they're all a group. Where are they going? Why do they need to get past him? All I had to do was close my eyes for a second to see a whole world passing by, to dream a whole lifetime. Wow. Okay, I'm going to come back to that for the what I noticed about the text. An endless road, letting oneself be pushed by a mob, letting oneself be dragged along by blind destiny. Okay, he doesn't want to be there. When the SS became tired, they were changed, but no one changed us. Okay, clue, and I'm going to note it, SS. So, from my knowledge of world history, SS officers were basically Nazis in World War II. And is this man a prisoner during that time? Our limbs numb with cold despite the running, our throats parched, famished, breathless. On we went. Ooh, that's good. I'm going to come back and note that. We were masters of nature, masters of the world. We had forgotten everything: death, fatigue, our natural needs. It's funny that they should describe a master as somebody who's in charge, who has power and control. How are masters of the world in a state where they have forgotten everything? Kind of strong language. Stronger than cold or hunger, stronger than the shots and the desire to die. So he wanted to die? I think he wanted to die. Condemned and wandering, mere numbers. We were the only men on earth. Okay, let's go back and look at word choice and stuff. And I'm going to highlight in green here when I came to myself again. So I notice we have a great tidal wave of men rolling onward, and they would have crushed me like an ant. This is figurative language. Figurative language. Tidal wave. Here we go. Of men crushed me like an ant. It gives an idea of, so we find this figurative language, but the important thing to note is, what is it doing here? It just shows the sheer number, to say shows the big, just to keep it simple, number of people, okay? Close my eyes and run, someone would push me. All I had to do was close my eyes for a second to see a whole world passing by, to dream a whole lifetime. I think he's talking about those little moments when he would sleep, those tiny moments of rest, sleepwalking, were like lifetimes of escape. Like that's all he had. Endless road. Letting oneself be pushed by the mob, letting oneself be dragged along by blind destiny. Okay, so an endless road is hyperbole. And it sounds like he is making destiny a person, or at least people. So, and so I'm going to call that personification. Destiny is dragging him, which basically shows that this is going on and he is powerless. Our limbs numb with cold despite the running, our throats parched, famished, breathless. This is great sensory detail. Okay, I'm going to move this up a little bit so I have space. That is great sensory detail. Lets the reader feel it with him. We get a sense of exactly what he's experiencing because he described it so vividly. And then finally, the whole masters of nature had forgotten everything, stronger than cold or hunger, stronger than the desire to die, condemned and wandering, mere numbers, mere numbers. We were the only men on earth. Now, are they really just numbers? I think that's how they feel. So this description shows that they have been minimized to numbers and to just this moment in time. So there is nothing for them outside of this, and this is imprisonment and weariness and being powerless to control their own destiny. So I'm going to explain now what moment is exploded and what is the basic explanation that's going on. I think these are, and I don't know why my font's that way, but that's kind of fun. I think these are prisoners and probably concentration camp. And maybe they're being moved. They're maybe being made to walk because they are being moved somewhere. In any case, they are being starved and um, basically exhausted. And it says their throats are parched, and so and and are maybe dying of thirst. And then finally, synthesize. Why do you think the author chose to explode this particular moment? What is the effect? Well, the writer says that it all came down to this moment, that they were numbers. They were the only men on earth. This moment is all they have. It's all they are. We see how they have been dehumanized and get a real sense of their mistreatment. And that is how we take something written by a really good writer and analyze it and annotate it to see what tricks, what tools the writer uses so that we can then model that to make our own writing better.